Good afternoon, folks. So, this is a video I was hoping I wouldn't be making, if I'm being completely honest with you. I purchased FIFA 19 late last week. It was going for £19.99 for the Super Duper edition, and after having played PES pretty much all last season, I thought, well, it's a price point I'm kind of willing to bite at, and well, yeah, I'm kind of somewhat curious, to be honest with you. So, took the plunge, and I have to say, this game, I am honestly bewildered as to the thoughts amongst many that this is somehow superb football simulation. It really, really does boggle the mind. I just want to start quickly with game settings here to get things going here. So, first of all, I want to say the cameras in FIFA 19 are terrible, like awful. I haven't found one yet I'm satisfied with, and a lot of that's to do with there not being much in the way of customization from what's available, and also that you have this overlaying the actual camera view, so you can't actually see your adjustments that clearly. So you're dicking about in and out of menus, um, just to try and establish a camera that is barely passable, if you ask me. Added to that, honestly, this is one of the most ugliest FIFA games I've seen in recent years from gameplay perspective. The level of detail drops dramatically when compared to PES at a similar view that I've got this set at, which is, well, it's not quite as similar as PES. PES is simply better. I have to say that. So that was the first surprise, to be honest with you. It was like, what the hell is going on here? Moving on, audio. Quick comment on this. I think when it comes to, sort of real life comment, taking stuff from what's happening in the real world and making reference to certain things or what's maybe happening within your career mode, I don't think you can really argue that FIFA gets that stuff does that stuff, the nice additions and they do it well. However, and this is big, I mean, this is really, really big if you're going to consider commentary and indeed crowd. Both commentary and crowd reaction to goals is weird. It's off a beat or two, and it's kind of muted. The crowd don't. The crowd seem a lot quieter. They might have all these great special effects in 7.1 or whatever, but it doesn't sound that clear. It doesn't sound that loud, and honestly, Martin Tyler sounds disinterested. And it's that delay though that gets me. It's just really, really strange. The amount of times I've scored the goal and going, is play stopped or is that a goal? And it's like, all right, it's a goal. It's bizarre, and I think it's something that is very rarely picked up on from a lot of what I read. So I think the commentary gets a really, really easy ride in FIFA when it's great having people talking jibber jabber. Personally, I could do without it. I really could, especially when it comes to talking about real life stuff that's going on. I don't care. I play football games to get away from all that shit. Video games themselves are just a form of escapism for me. Even football games. I just can't be asked with the real life being rammed down my throat constantly. Moving on to sliders. Now you will note here that I have not adjusted sliders, and you know what? I'm not going to hear, and whether I do before the PES demo hits, I'm not entirely sure. And I know I can already hear FIFA fans FIFA Online players tell me, you must do this though in order to get the best from FIFA. Well, I'll accept that to get the best from FIFA. Unfortunately, what sliders will not do in FIFA is deal with the biggest issue in FIFA, and that is this nonsense of a control setup. I mean, yeah, okay, you've got your basics, but right away, there we go. Timed timed shooting, or is it timed finishing it's called. Switched it off immediately. Was actually told in advance of it actually fully installed, turn it off, it's rubbish. And it was kind of, it was described to me, and the description was such that even being slightly off with the timing meant that the whole chance was blown. And it's like, well, that's not realistic in the slightest. You know, finishes can be made with, scuff finishes and the like all the time. Just weird, a weird feature creepy inclusion. I might be finding myself saying feature creep a lot here. Moving on to no touch feints, and when you see it there, you think R1 then L. Oh, fair enough, but it's everything else. It's everything else that's kind of layered on around this, which just makes it just ridiculous. That plus, do you know how you do no touch feints in PES? Flick the left stick. Just flick the left stick. No touch feints. It's that simple. And it should be that simple. Because do you know what? See, doing that in real life, a no touch feint. I mean, seriously, after you watch this video, go and run about with a ball and do a no touch feint. And after you do it, think about what your thought process was. There were hardly any. But it's a mechanic in this. It's bizarre. It's got 2 button prompts to do it. Moving on. They do have low shot downward header modifier, which is kind of fine that they've got it in it, but to be honest with you, as a player coming from PES who used advanced shooting, this is actually more inputs than what I'd be used to anyway, so it doesn't serve me any good. Threaded through pass, I've messed about with it. I'm just like, whatever, it just looks like a different animation to me. I do, people will try and break it down saying, oh, well, it means you'll hit it this way and that way. And it's like, well, you know what? Again, I hate to say it, I go back to PES. All that kind of stuff is driven by a player's stats. A large part of it is driven by a player's stats and player skills. Individuality. I defy anyone to tell me otherwise. I'm not saying that PES has got the best individuality ever in PES 2019, but it is there, and it is in things like passing and the like. So again, just for me, just a pointless mechanic layered on. Protect the ball or shielding. It's atrocious in FIFA, and this is one of these mechanics that is symptomatic of how I think the gameplay and control setup has been approached in this game. They carve up football into little chunks and borderline mini games. Each little thing, each little movement has to have a control, and the end result is that it looks really, really clunky in this game. I'm not going to suggest for a moment PES's system for shielding is perfect, but I will say that again, I think PES's need better explained, to be honest with you, because I think to some players it appears like witchcraft. Do you know what I mean? When they're maybe up against someone, it doesn't explain the mechanic very well. However, the theory behind it is fine. It's just allowing the engine, and trust me, see, as the years go on, that is what's going to be driving these games. It's going to be the engine and the physics. It's not going to be buttons and multiple inputs and wee mini games and finger dances. It's going to be driven by a lot more by AI and physics and the like. And I think PES is trying to take those steps, clumsy as it may appear at this moment. And certainly it just flows. As a result, PES flows better than FIFA. It looks a more athletic endeavour when you play PES. The whole driven lob pass, driven short, driven passes and stuff. You can do all these in PES. They're not very well explained mechanics. They can be touch and go, but actually, again, a lot of it is down to player individuality, player stats, and also player skill sets. Players will make driven passes in PES. They'll just do it like they would in real life, and that's when it's on. You can, and like I say, it does have a mechanic to do so if you want to do it, and it can be mastered as a kind of manual option. But in PES, driven passes will happen, no problem at all. You just power up pass, and if it's a decent enough length and the channel is there, I think that's how it's described, it'll do it. So moving on, I mean, yeah, I mean, you've got your crosses and that's all reasonably standard. Flare pass and flare shot, again, mind-boggling. Flare pass and flare shot. See, a lot of the time in football, flare pass and flare shots come as a result of a player's technique. And when a player executes them, it is a result of their technique. It's a result of years of practice and them just doing it. It's just part of their makeup as a player. In FIFA, button prompts, multiple prompts again. It takes away the fluidity, and I can hear FIFA fans saying, yeah, but this is skill, learning all this is skill. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you, the best football game that will come in the next couple of decades will be one that will have a control setup that is nothing like this. It will be closer to PES's, but I mean that's not saying much because it'll probably transcend even PES's with regards to simplicity than it will be FIFA's. I can absolutely guarantee that. You can just see it in how we interact with our technology now. It's less about multiple inputs, and that's the way a lot of video games are going to go as, graphics engines, physics engines, AI, computational power start to take over. A lot will be passed over into these things, and controls will start to feel far more fluid as a result, and will not demand what EA seem to think should be demanded to replicate football in video game form. And then we've got tucked in there a slow dribble. So, I mean, how many dribble? Right, so standard dribble, dash dribble, knock on dribble, face up dribble, slow dribble, no touch dribble. And I think I'm missing one. 7 different dribble speeds. It's bad. Listen, it's bad. So, I mean, rant over on that. So from here, I'm going to play a game now. And, I'll start to touch on other things. But, yep, just going to set the match up now. So, we'll get this underway.
Hi there, everybody. We're in Turin. We being myself, Martin Tyler, and my good friend Alan Smith, to describe the game for you today. A big welcome to you all. Nice to have you along. And here for you today, Juventus.
So here we go with the match. Oh, this looks nice enough. I'll take nothing away from it. However,
well, we know, Alan,
the actual stadium,
with plenty of possession,
with regards to textures and stuff, it does look a bit flat.
You'd imagine so, wouldn't you? That is their default setting, as it were. And as the opposition, I mean, you've got to stay so organised and you've got to work so hard. It's not a game you look forward to, really.
Have a look at this list for Torino, their lineup here. This is the way they like to play, isn't it? And it does allow them, with 3 at the back, to have 2 main attackers up front, which is a little bit unusual these days.
Well, you look at
I mean, this is all filler, but it's well enough delivered.
Especially if that holding midfielder in front of the back 3.
It's not jaw-dropping, though.
Too far forward, but an onus on the wide men as well to support those 2 lads up front.
So this is world class, and I'm honestly not good at this game, but it's like I say, that's not my issue with it. What I will say, but I don't think FIFA's... I think PES's place models and player models in general are better, but there's something about the player models in FIFA's, the players' eyes, there looks like there's life there. I will give them that, it is impressive. The first time I've seen something like that, that's kind of, That's not too much angle. That's not quite the uncanny
Plenty of
valley
width
anymore.
for the team to attack into. Joao Cancelo gets his cross in. Well, all credit for taking the volley on, but in the end, nowhere near the target.
So
Well, it's a difficult
immediately,
skill. You get it off a fraction, and that can happen. It goes wide.
this doesn't sound like a derby atmosphere.
Thomas Rincon.
Sound, I've got headphones on here at the moment, and the sound's coming through them, so it's like sounds are kind of fading in and out. It's like the mix is weird.
Lorenzo De Silvestri. Ball lost by Torino.
I mean, honestly,
Miralem Pjanic. Chiellini.
by the way, see if anyone I see this a lot.
Here's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Where they'll say that FIFA has more animations than PES.
Joao
It doesn't,
Cancelo.
by the way. What they do have is they have a good linking system. They have good transitions.
Juventus to regain
I don't think they can be much. Well, even that can be a bit spotty, to be honest with you. But
trophies as well.
when it works well, it looks good.
Very much so. I mean, it's.
But so far as
Italy's most
variety,
famous club. Those fans will be
I would say
delighted.
player styles and the
I
like.
think they should be.
It's not on the same level as PES. And honestly, this game, I mean,
Looking for teammates in the middle.
there's a really
And he's flagged
considerable
offside.
drop in visual quality at this gameplay camera. I think they're using anti-aliasing solution and that. And, the tuff doesn't look that great, and I think they stick a filter over it. It's just.
Velotti.
But my main issue is just. It's.
And that's really the way to get the ball.
I don't. I mean, again, it's not because I'm talking. This is how I've felt in all these matches I've played. There's just a distinct lack of engagement here.
Miralem Pjanic. Not a very active way of playing this for the
Players
defending team because they're not
there's
going out closing the
positional
opposition.
adherence, you could say,
Set
but
off now. Well, they set up to defend Allen, but they've conceded after
sorry, that
all.
cut out
Yeah,
there.
you can say that they invited that pressure, that the goal was coming, and now really they've got to change their attitude, haven't they?
Goalkeeper almost got there, but it wasn't a strong enough touch.
Yeah, he's annoyed with himself, isn't he? Having got a touch on it, feels he should have done better.
I mean, this is all
Well,
fair
let's
enough,
take another look
right?
at the goal.
I just didn't feel anything there. I don't like actually see the I don't like the power up in shooting in this. It's weird. I really like whipping the ball in PES. There's a sense that I'm really putting a bit of welly behind it if I'm really powering it up, and I just don't get that sensation in FIFA. It's like it's a way off the guy's boot before I know it sometimes, and
Sharp movement.
you could argue it's responsive, but it just seems to lack a bit of oomph as a result, I feel.
Leonardo Bonucci. Chiellini. Alexandro.
I'm not even using player runs or anything here, it's all...
Chiellini. Leonardo Bonucci. Now Juventus can get on
I
the
think just
attack,
before
get
my
forward
mic
from
cut
this
out
wide
there,
area.
which I'm going to have to take a look at, I was talking about how players seem to, fair enough, there's some positional adherence,
Bit of
but it's
space
all
to go
kind of
forward into with the
ambly.
ball.
I don't think this game... It just doesn't seem that
Here's
in
Alexandro.
Again, I use that word
He's looking
again.
for the cross.
It doesn't
Sandro.
seem like this is very athletic.
This is an exercise in patience as they try to get an opening.
I mean, I know people love this stuff.
Pjanic.
Being able to knock it about
Here's
and stuff, but
Alexandro.
I don't feel challenged at all here.
On to Sandro.
I mean, I can
It's
put-
to pick out Mandzukic.
I can
It's a
play...
difficult technique, and he didn't quite catch it.
Yeah,
I mean, even if I play
taking it on,
PA3 and
taking the
Superstar in
confidence to do
PES,
that.
The quality of the cross deserved a better finish, Alan.
I almost think he
Um,
thought he'd scored before the ball actually came to him. He was too
I can
casual.
still feel as though the comms put, putting a bit of pressure on me and forcing me into doing things. I don't feel under any pressure here. I might still lose this game, but it's just such a passive feeling experience. I
think the wide man's got a chance here. There's space out near the touchline.
And I have to say,
it's a poor effort.
Movement, the ball moves weird. Sorry, but it just does. Something strange with the ball. And in addition to that, there's a floatiness to movement. I'm not saying PES is rock solid in that department either, but there's just generally this kind of... I don't know if it's... You know, I've played a few stadiums now. I thought it was maybe shadow detail or something that was not letting me see that kind of real connection and with the players
just a heavy touch,
really having that contact with the surface, but it's consistent. It just feels a bit floaty and...
Unkulu. Aseli. Lorenzo De Silvestri. On to Ronaldo. Matuidi. Well, there'll be more work for Juventus to do in the second half, Alan, won't there? But it looks as though they're going to go in front at the break.
Yeah, they've missed some decent chances, so just need to be a bit more clinical.
Here's Alexandro.
People could love the pace in this, but... And I don't mind the pace. You know, I put it on slow for a reason, but...
On the back of... Given that he tried to place it,
it's just
wrong.
Yeah, probably did choose the...
I don't feel it. I'm not feeling any real intensity here.
I kept rising and always going over the bar.
Well, I don't know why he's shooting from there. He's miles out and missed it by some distance.
Sorry, I was just making sure I got the clip there. I mean, it crossed my mind when I first got it. I thought, I'm going to do a career mode, because I've never done a Master League this year. I was playing a lot of my club, but I like to do a lot of just matchups and stuff and wee comps and stuff in PES. I knew Master League wasn't going to be what it was going. Hopefully promising to be this year, and I was willing to sit out a year of Master League. So I thought, right, maybe this will do a wee, career mode. I just don't see me getting engaged in this.
And he's taken that opportunity. Here's Emre Can. Now with Matuidi. And here's the shot. He's blocked the shot well.
This does not feel like world class.
For Juventus.
And that's why I hate the camera. PES allows you a wee pan. See for this angle like this, PES gives you pan, so something like shooting in that can be better placed as a result. Set pieces, these are horrendous.
To be added on, a hefty corner,
and I'm not
everyone in the middle, and out for a throw.
It's not, again, it's just look, it's like a golf game almost, that. Moving wee targets about and shit. Stupid. Again, overcomplicating. I had a penalty the other night there, and I was like, what's this?
And he goes with the tackle. Shots on here, got in the way. They could have got through there, but the defender, well, that's half-time at 1-0. Well, the player that we're featuring here has done well. He's certainly been an influence on this first half.
Yeah, I thought he looked lively in that first half. Really sharp and obviously got the goal. Another 45 of that and he'll be well pleased.
I didn't feel under any pressure on that at all.
Well, the kickoff
no matter what I was doing, I'm not talking necessarily that, it's not even about Torino attacking, it's just, I didn't feel under any pressure when I was in possession.
credit for taking the volley on, but in the end,
And this is
nowhere
world
near
class.
the target.
Well, it's a difficult
I mean,
skill,
this is
and you
superstar
get it off
equivalent.
the fraction, and that can happen.
Not a very active way
A
of
game I've
playing
hardly
this for the
played, and
defending
it just
team,
feels like a bit
because
of a
they're not going
canter.
out. He's got his shot off now. Well, they set up to defend Allen, but they've conceded after all.
Yeah, you can say that they invited that pressure, that the goal was coming.
I mean, oh, see this stuff. You will not hear me complain about this kind of, you know, this kind of sizzle reel type, you know, kind of highlight reel. Wee bit of sound over it and stuff. That's great. That's wonderful. But it is a broadcast authentic touch. It's not a football one. So, going to resume match.
So we're all set for the second half.
And you know, well, I've got no doubt people will say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Get sliders on. It doesn't change the fundamentals, and that is mechanics. How this game thinks human movement, how football players' movement should be replicated via a controller. It is just farcical. I mean, I've got all these buttons, and it's just like, I don't even know.
Oh, he spotted the pass and cut it out.
I mean, is there even that much use for them? It's
Aldo moving the opposition around with these two players. He had to clear it, even at the expense of a corner.
Don't get me wrong, I have my issues with PES, I really do, but there is something truly lifeless about this game. For all its broadcast authenticity, all its pomp, all its licenses, it's weird how lifeless this game can feel.
Swung in by Pjanic.
Just dicking about in these corners. I just think they're awful.
And it's a goal kick. Poor delivery.
Again, just mini-gaming shit that doesn't need mini-games.
There's good progress with this attack. Alexandro. Oh, what a disappointment.
Well, my shooting's off with the old semi, but
been the game for them.
Yeah, when you're on top, Martin, as you know, you've got to make the most of it.
and this is bias, this is pure preference, but honestly, see advanced shooting in PES, while not perfect, I think it's the best shooting mechanic out there in these games. By a mile.
Anticipated the direction of the
I admire
pass,
players that can put up with manual, don't get me wrong, in either game, but so far it's just that, I mean, there is a mini-game element, this is, you know, I'll hold my hand up to that. There is a mini-game-ish element to finishing in PES, but it's the most important thing, and it's not completely counterintuitive how you go about it, you know, it's still just the same buttons. It's not change a stick or anything like that.
Show his skills here. There's going to be a substitution. It's for the away team. Mandzukic, gone for the
as you can see, I'm not very good at finishing in this.
You could head it much, much better than this one.
Well, you've got to be committed to those headers, and he wasn't quite.
But again, the problem is, if it's failing to engage me on the field, I'm not feeling compelled to go, I need another game, I want to work this out, I want to work that out.
We've reached the hour mark. Half an hour to go. On to Ronaldo. It's a turnover of possession here. Spotted well by the defender, cut it out. Camas Rincon, trying to get the ball in behind.
Oh, Zaza.
Trying to go here. It's come off the goalkeeper, still in play.
That wee yellow cross thing's
freaking
annoying.
There, but he'll be wanting a bit more protection from his defence. Otherwise,
can you turn that off?
He's going to concede, I think.
Sham.
Well, I don't know who the lad saw there passing the ball. Somebody in the crowd, maybe.
Ronaldo.
Trying to find an opening. Not panicking.
Might have heard of him. This guy called Cristiano Ronaldo.
Mandzukic. That's his game, isn't it? Intercepting. Well, they use the forward in these positions, dropping deep. He lays it off, and they play from there. Really in the clear now, in on goal. And here's the shot. That's a corner.
You know, I could just imagine folks saying, "You're not doing this, you're not doing that." I'm not being forced to do anything. There's nothing that's happening in this match that's making me think, I want to learn how to do this, that, the next thing, because I need to. Because I need to find a way of,
Corner played into the middle.
you know, cracking the code somewhat.
With a punch from the corner. And shoots! He's blocked the shot well.
Bizarre AI responses there.
And Ronaldo. Mandzukic. Saw the pass coming and got there first. Now Juventus can get on the attack, get forward from this wide area. Dybala. He didn't need to go for power.
No, he didn't. I think it was a question of a lack of composure there.
Fucking camera angle, man. And that is one thing I'll admit, I would need practice at, but I need so much more in this game to be clicking, doing the right things to make me feel compelled to, yeah, I want to learn how to shoot properly.
I think he saw the look from the other player and saw where the pass was going and read it. Miralem Pjanic. Ronaldo. We've given it straight to the opposition. And there was danger, but he's cleared it.
Whoa.
Matuidi. Mandzukic. Miralem Pjanic. Much happier times for Juventus these days. Fantastic Serie A triumph in the 11-12 season, and they're building on that and looking extremely good here with a very controlled performance.
I mean, I can imagine some folk look at this,
hold on to the ball.
And honestly, even I kind of sometimes, I'll look at a FIFA video and I think, ooh.
On the scoreline here, it's
certainly with regards to pace when it's played on when played on slow, but it's
now this looks promising. Trying to get behind the defenders to get in a good cross. This should wrap it up. Now a throw.
It's unfortunate.
Substitution coming up.
It's like I say, I paid £20 for this. I am not going to pay £20 just to shit on something or with the sole intent of. You know, I paid £20. I was hoping to get something from it. And who knows, you know, I don't know.
The side of Juventus who continue to lead here.
Yeah, they played well.
Probably maybe not FIFA19, but anything could happen. But certainly on this evidence,
it's been a thrilling contest, this.
And from everything I've seen with regards to FIFA 20 so far, I'm just seeing more of the same. I mean, I think they're even bringing in more stuff this year.
One of the best atmospheres around. They've not disappointed.
Here's Alexandro. He's run out of play beyond those in the middle for a throw. Tight scenario here on the ball. And we're hearing there will be 3 added minutes here. Matuidi. Here's Alexandro. Leonardo Bonucci. Joao Cancelo. Able to cut that out with some sharp movements.
Weird there.
Not too many more attacks, I don't think. Very late.
There's
This
a goal.
could be the leveller. The victory today goes to Juventus. They've got all the rights of bragging around the town now by this victory over their neighbours.
Go out shopping now, rather than the losers who will be hiding at home, I think, for the next few days.
Well, he's had a very good game, hasn't he?
Oh, lots of energy, lots of quality.
Sorry folks,
Good
I find myself a little bit speechless as just to how I've got all this licensed wazoo stuff happening everywhere and there's just nothing. I'm feeling nothing. And I do insist the textures on the stadiums look really flat.
The kickoff is underway, and sit back and enjoy what should be 90 minutes of fabulous football. Plenty of width for the team.
This stuff, great. I take this kind of presentation in a highlights reel on PES2019.
Nowhere near the target.
Well, it's a difficult skill, and you get it off a fraction, and that can happen.
Not a very active way of playing.
Seems to be a bit of post-processing going on, which is fine.
Well, they set up to defend Alan, but they've conceded after all.
Yeah, you can say that they invited that pressure. That
I've got no objection to post-processing effects. I mean, PES used them in 2017 with the kind of blurry replays, and I think the replays looked a lot better for it. And there's a kind of subtle blur going on here as well.
Alexandro. Oh, what a disappointment, because that could have been the game for them.
Yeah, when you're on top, Martin, as you know, you've got to make the most of it.
It doesn't play smoothly as all this can look, because even at that, there is a kind of clunkiness still present throughout.
Now Juventus can get on the attack, get forward from this one. Dybala. Emre Can.
Yay!
Well, he didn't need to go for power.
No, he didn't. I think it was a question of a lack of composure there.
Camera's shit. So that was that, folks. Just, I don't know, even playing this match and while I'm kind of talking over it, knowing I'm going to publish something, I was hoping this will be the, something will happen, I'll get lifted, but it just doesn't happen. This game, mechanically, and in regards control setup, is a joke. Its relation to football is just nonsensical. It's feels more like vehicular control as opposed to human control. It's weird.
Well, good evening wherever you are on this most pleasant evening. There has been a clamour to get inside the ground tonight for a much anticipated game. The roads outside of the stadium have been bumper to bumper with traffic. The car parks are full.
So
there's a torrent of humankind making its way from the nearby station, and we expect every
there may be a more
to be filled. An atmosphere.
I think people use the word cartoony.
And excitement. This is
maybe there is an element of that, but there's just something
quite a sight to behold.
More defined about everything here. I mean, that looks like a structure that, I thought that the stadium in FIFA19 just looked really flat, textured and stuff. This looks like a place to me. And it could be, again, how they're using camera blur. It just looks a little bit more convincing, in my opinion.
Well, they call this a friendly. The crowd clearly doesn't think so. Oh, in actual fact, the way.
I'm sitting here, Peter,
this is basic. I will not have no qualms at all and say that they could do with starting up. I think a lot of it's just font changing. Change the fonts. But I think we're going to be stuck with this forever. Well, it's a game that's going to be developed in Japan. They're going to use the most straightforward and basic font they can for these things. I believe.
And if it is full on, then I'll be happy to watch that.
I mean, the pre-game preambles. Yeah. Here we go.
So off we go then. João Cancelo. Bentancur.
Interesting to see how I feel doing this, to be honest with you. After a game of FIFA, it's always that thing, isn't it?
Bentancur encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
Whistle's gone, that's a foul.
So immediately it's like, fuck, I better do something every time I've got the ball. And don't get me wrong, that's not necessarily always a good thing, but I feel pressure.
Pjanic.
I feel I need to be proactive, reactive. I didn't feel that in the match in FIFA at all. I didn't feel...
Across the field it goes.
I just felt really passive in comparison to this. And it is a bit faster, but again, game speed.
Well, the ball's come loose and the chase is on.
I mean, I've got this in default game speed, so I could have bumped it down to slow. Because I had it in slow in FIFA, to be fair, so...
Alexandro. All the way back and they start again.
I don't know how anyone else... I mean, again, everybody's different, I'll concede that, right? But I don't know how anyone can look at these two games and think, you know, PES looks the more athletic sporting endeavour than this.
Mete looks to clip it forward. Pjanic. Difficult to choose between them early on. Not many chances yet. That's surely a foul. Free kick.
Kick count seems higher.
That looks like a final warning. Still no card. Keeps everyone guessing. Bentancur. Tweedy tried to play it through.
So I'm using PA1 passing here.
Advanced shooting. Made the run and not get picked out.
That's where we phase of using advanced through balls, which I quite like. I might well go back to them once I can work out how to use them without the need for the displays.
And it's Pelotti. De Silvestri. It's in, and the finish!
Oh, I just feel like they're coming at me a little bit more than what they were on FIFA.
Sparkling save, absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Nkulu.
I mean, I've been playing this game all year compared to FIFA, and this feels like a challenge still. But
it's Dybala. Defenders on the back foot.
Patronising here, they're fucking all over me.
We can only applaud that quality of tackle in the circumstances.
It does. It just feels like
goal saving.
A right wee competitive game of football. This is in versus mode, which I suppose is the kick-off equivalent, or best as you get.
He's got options out wide. Cristiano Ronaldo. And the weighted pass goes for goal! Last-ditch defending, but that'll do.
Oh, should have just...
He's made sure that that won't get through.
I mean, you can hear it in my tone, you know, just in how I'm speaking.
He's picked him out.
I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat a little bit. You know, I'm engaged in it. I'm properly involved here.
Get it forward quickly. Played out to the right.
I didn't feel this in FIFA.
Has got rid of that.
FIFA was incredibly plodding.
It's been won straight back.
And it's not even, I say that, it's not a pace thing, it's just, it didn't look like this did with regards to... I mean, these look like two teams trying to win a football match. That's what I'm just trying to say. It's not a pace thing necessarily.
He's gone for goal.
Ooh.
Try. The outcome could so easily have been different.
Well, he doesn't need a second invitation, even from that range.
Should have set that actually. But yeah, while there might be a more...
Out wide to the right.
Sorry, alarm noise going off. Background.
Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball
this just pops more to me. You know, and look.
Right through the middle. Chiellini does well there. Alert. Bentancur. Pjanic pushes it out wide. Bentancur. Here it comes. João Cancelo. Played into the middle.
You know, it's just, you know, having to work in tight spaces, and you do get used to it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've got my issues, certainly with regards to the effectiveness of the pressing game in some regards. It's been really ramped up considerably from PES 2018, which I actually played both PES 2017 and PES 2018. Shortly, you know, a few days last week. Those games still hold up, by the way. I think, I don't know, everyone's got a personal preference, but I think PES personally just gets a really, really rough ride, and you know, sometimes it doesn't help itself with some of its presentation assets, but I went back and I was playing PES 2000. I ended up having 4 games of PES 2017 and something like 3 games of PES 2018. And there's a big visual step up coming from 18 to this. It's considerable. Start, there's no doubt. But we're going to move on to the second half.
And we're off again.
I used this stadium as my home stadium, and
defenses are doing what they should, and it's going to take
from my club team
to break the deadlock here.
It was at Gremio's kit I picked, so you got the South American sort of fanfare, the drums and all that. It was cracking. Remember playing, you know, there was a few matches where it was getting messages from folk going, you know, what stadium's that? Cracking atmosphere you've got going there. And, you know, I'm not saying that PES's sound is fucking award winning, but it can be effective. Less can sometimes give you more. And it is its thing, it's getting the beats right, it's getting the mix right.
Sirigu sends that a long way. Now it's Dybala. He's left his man. He's got the ball glued to his feet. Whipped in.
Oh! So down the wing there, I was using some of the old no touch stuff, no touch feints, just left stick work.
Big chance. Can he score?
I mean, that pops as a gameplay experience. There's nothing like that in FIFA. Outside of the foot pass. And I know there'll be people watching this going, the positioning's all fucked. Listen, I know PES has positioning issues, right? But
gets up to head it.
When you're in the heat of battle, yes, I'll look about and stuff like that, but there is an intensity to this. Which, I'm sorry, I have to be blunt, I know a lot of you know,
he's got away.
Defenders of FIFA will tell you, it's because it's arcadey. This is not arcadey. It's a bit zippier. It's like I said, I'm not playing this on the slow speed that I paid FIFA on.
It's the throw.
It's just an intensity. It's a football experience. It's a compressed 90 minutes. Things are happening. I'm engaged. If I dick about too much, they press me, they double up, and I felt like I could bust through just about anything in FIFA. Whereas in this, it's like,
on the right now. What's on? It's deflected over the goal line for a corner. Up for the header.
yes, there we go.
It's there. A wonderful delivery. And all it needed was a touch.
Yeah, I just thought he wanted that more than anyone else on the pitch.
So the sound
Fully
does drop a
deserved.
little
He
bit,
gave
but the
it everything he
initial
had.
reaction to the goal, the commentary, it's spot on there. I'm not needing flowery prose, it's just got for the head and it's there, yes, roar, all that stuff, bang on.
A 1-0 lead established.
Look, you can't deny that it's a blow, but this game is far from unsalvageable.
Baselli. Bentancur. Iago Falque does well to read it and intercepts. And it's Baselli. Ball's loose. Who's getting
Also,
there?
I hate to be that guy, right, but
Complaints about that challenge. Robust but fair.
I do read some critiques of PES with regards to controls and how play
Pjanic.
is flowing and how
Right,
things don't
Dybala.
work or X, Y and Z, and it's like,
João Cancelo.
I'm not sure if people have learned enough about the game,
Beautifully done.
but
Here's the in with a header.
again, it's
Good delivery, but no joy.
I have to commend the wing play, but I have to condemn...
there
the
is an
defending.
element of
They've
mystique
got
to this
stop the
game.
press.
I'm not going to deny it.
Plays it out
There
to
is
the
a lot that goes not
It's
well enough
penalty.
explained.
wing. Plays it out to the flank.
Oh
Slid it,
dear,
shot a goal.
there we go.
In it goes.
Sleeping.
Torino on level. Well, from right in front of goal, there was no way he was going to miss.
It's almost criminal to see a defence fail to identify someone who thrives when it comes to shooting stats. They knew, and yet they didn't heed, and they've paid the price and deserve to.
A lot is cracking in this game. Very good fox in the box.
So, the manager making the last of his changes.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has
Not
has
made
done him a
any,
big
but I never
favour,
made
I think,
any in the
by
last
taking
game,
him
so.
off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Torino grabbed the equaliser, and we're all square.
Well, the big question now is whether they can keep the energy levels up and try and grab a winner.
Played out to the right. João Cancelo looks to Dinko. Mandzukic with a shot!
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way, but there's still time for some ebb.
I'm sorry I'm quiet, but again, it's just, I can't help it. It becomes engaging.
Going through.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Damn it.
It's a loose ball. Alexandra.
Going nowhere fast is about the only way I can describe this. They've just got to be busier.
Matuidi.
Ah, damn it. Should have cancelled
Really
onto that.
is now or never. They need a goal, however it comes. Pjanic. João Cancelo. Can he put it away?
Oh.
That really should have hit the net.
Yes. Been an alright match.
Nkulu. Goes looking. Out wide to the right. He's had a look. Going for goal. Yes, he's done it. And that may just do it.
Iago Falque very cleverly provided the return ball there, and it made all the difference in the creation of that goal. I don't want to take anything away from the finish, but the pass was really key.
Man, your keeper let me down a wee bit there. Which works well in this game, I have to say. I mean, Belotti's just lethal though. So it's snatched from me.
Torino.
2-1.
So that's it. It is all over. And in the end, it got away. They just weren't allowed to build on their lead. They lost their lead, and they lost the game. Thoughts on what we've just seen?
Yeah, and we know that derbies can often make predictions look silly. They can take on a personality of their own, and this one didn't really deserve to have a loser.
I found that more intense,
Well,
more engaging.
For tonight's match, so it just remains for me to thank Jim Beglin alongside me, and to wish you all.
I'm going to use the word that everyone likes to, you know, try to ramp up to mean arcadey. It was more entertaining. The ebb and flow was far superior to FIFA. Playing this game, and it's not because I've learned some magic buttons or anything, because there is a streamlined control system, and it just works. For the most part, it works. I still have frustrations in the game. I've already outlined some of them with regards to some player positioning. Pressing game can be too intense at times. Shielding is poorly explained, but it does work. I mean, even at this late stage with PES, it's like, all right, I'm getting a feel for this more with regards to the shielding and how I can dribble in and out, you know, dribble out of situations. It's a personal opinion, but there's just it's just night and day. And it's all about, honestly, for me, it's all about controls. People hate, I've noticed it in communities, people hate words like accessibility because they think it's all dumbing down and stuff. It's not. And I stand by this. Might not be 10 years, but 20, 25 years. The best sports games will be the games that have got the control setups will be so streamlined that the audiences will increase massively, and you know, as things progress more and more and more, it just becomes about skill, you know, not because about how much you learn with regards to buttons and inputs, but your skill with what would be a very, very streamlined set of controls. I've got absolutely no doubt about that. And for me, that's why PES just delivers. PES 2019 had issues, folks, and you know, I'm hoping for a lot of things to be rectified. I'm looking forward to using a new camera on PES 2020. But here endeth my comparison. It's only my take, but it's all very ad hoc. But hi, for your consideration, thank you if you've watched all the way through. I'm going to try and get some content up, some more content up over the next, if not next few days, then we're certainly looking at next week getting some stuff up. But thanks again for watching, folks. See you later.